Yikes. Holy cow.
If you don't surface in about 8 or 10 minutes, it's been nice.
I wish I had this when I was a kid.
Now, you see the Pepsi?
It looks like it was at Custer's last stand.
Hit us with your best shot.
80 bucks.
Whoa! Yeah. It is a bear trap.
You want to test it?
Yeehaw!
This is great.
I once sold at auction for $5,000.
I'm sitting in a $5,000 chair?
Oh, shocking.
I'm Scott Cozens,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and bars. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us. Betsy's not doing real well. She needs some gas. We're gonna stop, fuel up. Of course, I'll be the one fueling up. Hopefully, at least Sheldon will get the windows this time. Holy smokes. Those two girls at the gas station, I think they liked you.
Never met anybody quite like me before.
They asked me if my father was single.
Touche. I brought a few white hats along with us.
Perfect.
The classic symbol of Calgary.
If a guy plays ball, they get the hat, right?
Exactly. Good pick, white hat. That white hat tradition goes back to, what was it, Mayor McKay in the 40s?
I actually don't know that. I didn't know that. I know we white hat people when they come to town if they're important.
I thought we'd switch it up a little bit and take the white hats with us. So we're going up to Bayfield, right on Lake Huron. We're going to see Ville. Ville's been collecting for 60 years. He's got automobilia, gas pumps, signage. Apparently Phil has a lot of buildings on his land.
Well, hopefully we're going to Phil's land and not landfill. Oh, there. This must be it here.
Here we go. Look at this place. Holy Christ!
Yeah. It's interesting. This is interesting.
Got his own little village here.
Yeah. He's got a pile of stuff. You must be Phil.
I am.
Phil, Scott Cozens, how are you?
How do you do?
Hey, Phil, I'm Sheldon.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little
It's
windy.
windy.
Well, we were noticing all the buildings coming in. You got a little bit of inventory here, Phil.
yes?
I'm calling it Philville.
I've heard that before.
Looks like you're an accumulator.
Yeah, myself, I have mechanical things, clocks, guns, motors, collectibles, Coca-Cola, beer, garden decorations, enamelware, signs, advertising, old tractors, the odd antique stove, railroad memorabilia. We also make maple syrup here. I used to have bees here, but I got sick of getting stung, so we don't sell honey anymore. And a few old boats.
Are you willing to part with a little bit of it today?
Well, a little bit, yes.
This looks like a good place to start. I can see the bottom of a Coke sign there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's been beat a little bit.
In nice shape, they're like 1,200.
Yeah, I think the market's dropped a bit on
Oh,
those.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
in really good shape, they're worth about 800 now.
Yeah, okay.
You've got a Quaker State sign here. What did you need out of the Quaker State?
Well, I was looking for 6 on it, but...
Whoa, that's a pretty steep price.
Well, it's a nice old sign.
It's been shot once there.
I have means to shoot it a few more times if that helps. But now it's your turn to make me an offer.
At 600, I'm afraid to even make an offer.
Oh, no, don't be shy.
So I try them on. I couldn't even give you 200 for it. He's like, oh, God, I've been shot.
I think we're too far
That's
apart.
what I said. That's
Yeah.
what I said at the first.
Say, Phil, what would you do on this little anvil?
25.
Well, you got 20 on it. You're supposed to go down.
No, but
Down for the picker boys, not up.
No, you got to start high with you guys, see?
Okay, well, I'll say 4.
Oh, well. Okay. We'll make it short and sweet. 15 bucks. I knocked $5 off of $20.
Done.
Okay?
I'm having some fun. We broke the ice. You've been looking for one of these for right across this vast country.
It's not exactly the one I'm looking for, but it is a bear trap, I think.
Yeah. We want to set it, test it?
Yeah.
You do the jaws, I'll hold it down.
There we go.
I think it's rusted out a little bit. It's not as strong as it used to be.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
So how much is the trap?
$2.50.
He's not easy.
I think I should take my anvil and go.
Now you see the kick plate Pepsi?
Yeah.
That's really been shot.
Yeah.
It looks like it was at Custer's last stand.
He did have one sign on the ceiling that didn't look too bad. It was a Toronto Star sign. Is it double-sided or single-sided?
Single-sided.
Single-sided. Decent sign. It's one you don't see out west as often as some of the other ones.
These were actually on bicycle stands.
That sign looks to me like from the 40s or 50s. So that would be like 100?
Yep.
Well, I'm thinking I can do 100 on that.
Okay. Here's a Buckingham.
Yeah, you know, cigarette stuff's really slowed
Really
down
flat,
as of
Yep.
late, eh?
Yeah.
The stuff that's really popular is the good oil and gas and
Yeah.
coffee and tea, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a scarce gas pump, isn't it? I've never seen the skinny one like that.
This gas pump came with this property when I bought the property in 1979.
Wow. So you don't have much into it.
Not a lot, no. So I got a total of $49 in that pump.
So what would you need out of it?
I've turned down $5 grand for the pump and $2 for the top.
He paid 50 bucks for it. He turned down 7,000. So it's not for sale.
Not really.
It was never leaving that garage, ever. I see something I'd like to buy off you.
Uh-oh. See, this is kind of stuff that I'm not trying to sell, like.
This is all your favorite stuff in here.
Oh, kind of. Like, it's a workshop where no work gets done.
What about the Red Indian
That's
sign?
what I'm looking at, is the Red
Oh.
Indian sign.
It was covering a stovepipe hole.
So again, you got nothing into it.
Nothing
into it,
That-
yeah.
I'm
What do you
talking-
want out of it?
I like it.
So come on, hit me with your best shot on the Red Indian sign.
You're actually in the inner sanctum here where...
Well, that's where we
Really?
want to be. I assume you're telling me by the lack of response that you're not selling me the Red Indian sign.
Not everything's for sale. Like, I have some of my own collections that are not for sale. Unfortunately, they kind of zero in on a lot of the things I like to keep.
Do you have any more White Rose type stuff or Anarco?
They're pretty high priced.
You must have bought them 10 years ago.
I did.
Anarco is a type of oil or gas that was put out by a company, White Rose. It's got the little boy holding the sign on the Anarco, and that's what everybody wants. It's got the figural, it's got the graphics, it's early 1930s usually. So it's the stuff that's second to Red Indian in terms of popularity. Yikes!
Yep.
You get some serious 10 years ago prices on
Yeah,
these.
that is, yeah.
So what did you pay for it?
Oh, over $3. It is a nice bank, though.
Did you buy that for resale at the time, or did you buy
I
that?
was actually collecting,
okay.
you know, with
here
the
we
old
go.
gas pump
Yeah.
and stuff, I was...
So you paid a premium to
Yeah.
get it for yourself 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the market peaked 10 years ago. A lot of areas of collecting have softened. Part of that's the economy. Part of that is a lot of these guys that we're collecting are too old, and I'm finding some of them want to sell and not collect anymore.
If you were to sell the whole lot of those Anarco tins, what would be your rock bottom, blow it out price?
Oh,
And forget what you got into them, because that's so irrelevant at this point.
$600.
You're probably not going to be happy, but I'd go 400 on them. That's not leaving us a lot of room for profit.
I just think we're just a little too far apart.
That's okay.
I hate to sell for less than I got in stuff. I either have to wait till the market turns around or get buried with it.
Phil, I'm going to warn you. Scott here,
Uh-huh.
he's a tank driver.
I stalled it.
Oh, boy. Yeah. That's a World War II toy to save on metal, eh?
But there's several more buildings, and I'm thinking, well, maybe there's something in one of these buildings that Phil is not quite as attached to. I know it's one of your favorites because it was tucked away back here.
Well, yeah.
It's in pretty tough shape here.
Oh, yeah.
Water. Hit me with your best shot, Phil.
$100.
Oh.
Oh, shocking.
What about this?
Well, this is actually a box that a roll of linoleum would come from.
The good news for us, though, is we're shipping. We can
Yeah.
put stuff in it.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. What would you want for that?
It's got 30 bucks on it. I could knock 5 off that.
All right, 25, done.
That's actually the best priced item I've seen so far, Phil.
I hope they're happy with it.
A box is something we can use for packaging at the same time, and the graphics were good on that.
They really know their stuff.
Bought myself a Hercules made in Canada anvil.
They're good guys.
Decent sign. It's nice and bright. Somebody will want that sign.
Well,
Phil,
they're
thanks a
interesting.
lot. You're tough to deal with.
I know.
But-
I get practice
You got practice. 60
Yeah.
years of it, apparently.
over that.
Maybe you'll have a little less attachment to those Anarco tins next time I'm through.
I have a feeling they might still be here.
Could be, could be.
Oh, I forgot to ask him about maple syrup.
What about maple syrup?
I was gonna buy some maple syrup.
Does he sell maple syrup?
He sells maple syrup. We're in a beautiful part of southern Ontario. It's Oxford County. It's rich with antiques. We're going to see a guy called Marty. He's got a shop. He's a picker. He sells to other dealers like us.
That's interesting. It's
Yeah.
really a storage facility, right?
Yeah.
We're in Ingersoll, Ontario this morning. We're hoping to get into Marty's place and pick some good things. There we are.
Hey, I'm Sheldon.
Sheldon.
You must be Marty.
Scott.
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Nice to meet you, Marty. So what's the story?
This is where I drop everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a bit haphazard in here, isn't it?
It is. I go out and hunt the stuff down myself because the thrill is in the hunt. So I'll dig through barns and basements and attics and junk stores. It doesn't matter how old it is. If it looks attractive to me and I think someone else will enjoy it, I'll pick it up.
Boy, Marty, you got the eclectic collection here.
So nothing's priced. So what do? Do we just look around and then ask you?
Yeah, just snoop around and see something you like, pull it out, and I'm sure we can work out a deal.
I can see that this is a guy that's like a flea market picker, but the good news for us is this is not a place for the public gets. This is a place where Marty takes his stuff, sorts it, prices it, and decides what he's going to do with it. Well, this is cool. I got to try that on. I love old serviceman jackets, whether it's for Maytag repairman, Esso. This was the Silverwood Dairies one, and they are hot amongst young kids today. How much is Bruce's jacket?
How's 20 bucks?
20 bucks. Does it fit me well enough for 20 bucks?
I don't know, Bruce. Scott looks good in everything.
I thank you, Sheldon. I feel good about myself now. No, I think I'm gonna have to buy it. 20 bucks.
That's good. My mother's been in the business for 30 years, so I've been dragged around to junk shops and flea markets and antique shows my whole life.
We need something for the dashboard in the vehicle.
Sheldon's got a great eye for a naked lady.
She's been huluing a little too much because the spring was a little bit loose.
I don't want to risk it.
I think it's just the string is stretched.
There was a time those hula knotters were gold. Oh.
I think you're getting attached to her.
Well, no, I'm getting attached to whether or not I can flip it to somebody. I don't want the work associated with making that one look good enough to sell it. She's got a fairly short skirt, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Scott, skateboards.
Oh, cool. Somebody changed the wheels on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they souped that one up.
Skateboards are hugely collectible.
Nash Manufacturing.
Yeah, that's the standard department store one of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and still today. Not wood, they were fiberglass or plastic. It's got a good image on it. And guys that have skateboard shops, they want to hang them from the ceiling because they got the look. They're all vintage. So how much do you want for these?
I'll go 30 bucks on the lot.
30. 25 bucks.
All right, done.
Yeah. We'll make some money off those. There you go.
Marty, he's an interesting guy. He likes to buy really low and sell slightly higher. So he's a picker. He sells to other dealers like us. Look at the look in Rocket's face. Isn't that classic?
Sporting memorabilia is very desirable because guys that have bars want it,
Hey, there's Jackie Parker.
Guys that just collect sporting stuff want it.
Great moments in Canadian sport.
Oh, Bobby Hull.
Bobby is just about to have the big slap shot. The big curve.
The buck's scared. That's hilarious.
Miss, Bobby, miss.
I could see immediately that it was old, and it was just a really cheap 39-cent banner in its day. But you know what? Bobby Hull stuff's not common, and I know people that will pay $20, $25 for that easy. How much do you want for the Bobby?
I was thinking 15 on the banner.
I'd pay 10 for it. That's all I'd pay.
That's fine.
Done.
Everything's for sale. Everything has a price. As long as I make my money and they make their money, I'm happy.
I saw a Dumbo cookie jar, turnabout cookie jar. You could have Dumbo that way. You could turn his head around that way. Proper Walt Disney one. It was marked on the bottom, so it wasn't a knockoff.
At least there's no chips. There's no
Yeah, and they
scratches.
often
You know
get
that.
busted right here
Yeah.
on the rim when people put them in. Made in the 1940s and the early 50s, right after the movie Dumbo came out. What would you want for Dumbo?
You could have them for 15.
I love Dumbo. Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But I still cry at the sad parts. Lightning Kung Fu. I've never even heard of this movie. Have you, Sheldon?
Oh, yeah, that was one of Hung Cambo's better movies.
That's a great sound system you got there.
Yeah, it's my baby.
It's not the top of the line Bang & Olufsen, but even a low-end Bang & Olufsen's better than most of the stereo systems out there.
Anything the Danes make, quality.
Put some jazz on.
Knock yourself out.
There you are. That thing was made in the early 70s, and it still looks good today. Okay, good. What would you need out of that?
My best price is 300 on it.
It's tempting. Got one guy that likes this stuff. Let me think about that for a minute. But I want to ask you about your fan. That is a cool fan. I think these were really popular in the 50s. Where'd you get it from?
One of those parts of Detroit you're not supposed to be in.
What were you doing there?
Picking.
It's a dual function, right? You could use it as a stool.
Yep.
And when the house got really hot, you turned the fan on. Fans in general are easy moves. What kind of price do you want from me for it?
I'd let it go for 50 bucks.
Oh, I'm having that. Deal. Somebody's gonna love that.
We're buying a few things. Scott's pulling the trigger here and there.
Where did these buttons come out of?
A dirty old estate I was digging through last week.
They are dirty.
Yeah, but there's some pretty cool ones on there, so I just grabbed the whole bunch.
Some of them are older, right?
Yeah.
I found some Led Zeppelin pins. I noticed right in the middle of it was a real good early vintage Beatles pin. So what would you want for the whole rack of these things?
You take them all in the stink with you for 10 bucks.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. Look at that. Have you ever seen that before?
They're heat lamps.
And what would they be for heating?
I think they're more for relaxational.
They're cool. I mean, they almost look like a black light.
Well, the great thing is you can tilt them too and swivel around.
You guys rotate on a different planet than me.
What would you want for them?
I'd have to get 60 out of the pair.
I've never seen you stew for 60 bucks.
I'm thinking to myself, you know, I feel better at 20 a piece, but before I can open my mouth...
Thank you, Marty. Done. There, I made the decision for you, partner. I know you want them. I like to keep the process moving along. Anything upstairs?
Yeah, I've got a couple big pieces up there and some projects I haven't gotten around to yet.
Wow, a little bit of everything here. Is this a chair?
Yes, it's a rocker.
That's funny.
Yeah.
When I first looked at it, I thought it was just something some hack put together. That's actually really good. Man, it was just beautiful to rock in. Like, is this something one-off, or what is it?
Well, there was a few hundred produced.
So, like, it's a real piece of furniture. It's not just some quirky guy that made it.
Well, he's a quirky guy.
What's his name?
William Lishman.
The guy from the movie?
The movie Fly Away Home.
He teaches the geese to fly, right?
Yep, to follow him in his lightweight plane.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, and
He's
an
the guy
From
that-
ultralight.
Ontario, isn't he?
North of Toronto, yeah.
Right. He made this.
Yes. He's a well-known artist and sculptor, and he's won national awards. It is a great piece of Canadian history. It made it to Architectural Digest, and then one sold at auction for $5,000.
I'm sitting in a $5,000 chair?
Again, yeah.
You should try it.
All right, I'm in. Yeah, this is a really cool chair. What do you have to have for it?
$1,000.
If you'd have told me that before I sat in it, I would have thought you were crazy. Holy smokes.
Done.
Now, usually I'm the guy that steps up on modern furniture.
We came up with a star piece out of the attic right at the end of the pick. The guy that buys this is going to have to take a test drive. That's the only.
Yeah.
That's what sells it.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to find in the next room you get into. And I think we made a good buy on all the stuff we bought from Marty. I know people that will pay anywhere between $5 and $20 a piece for them. Look at these cool lamps. Somebody's going to love to have that as a bit of mood lighting. It's a great little fan.
Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, hang on a second. Yeah, I had a little white hat. Brand spanking new from the Calgary Tourist and Convention Bureau. Bit of a tradition.
Wonderful.
It's official. You got to come to Calgary now.
You've been white-hatted.
All right, I'll take you up on that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's a guy that looks good in a cowboy hat.
Okay.
Thanks a lot,
guys.
Marty.
Thanks a lot. What a good guy.
Yeah, I really liked him.
Yeah.
That chair really didn't belong in the attic. That's a lot of money, but I don't feel uncomfortable about it at all.
Nor do I.
Really like this area. This looks like moose country, doesn't it?
Yeah. Heading towards Kawartha Lakes. Lots of lakes, cottage country, and it's rich in material. We're gonna see Shane and his father George. So I think you're gonna be excited about George's things. He's got all kinds of automobile collectibles, advertising.
So we should be getting close.
Yeah.
It's got to be here. This has got to be here.
Yeah,
Nobody's got a White Rose sign like that.
Yeah, and the Coke
And there's a totem pole on the front.
I didn't expect to see a totem pole.
Look at that double
Yeah.
shell visible gas pump.
Beauty.
How are you?
Scott Cozens, how are you?
George.
Hi, Shane. I'm
Hi.
Sheldon. Couldn't help but notice the totem pole driving up. Where'd you get that?
They come from Indonesia.
That's amazing. They make that in Indonesia. How long have you been collecting, George?
Oh, man. I think I started when I was little collecting license plates.
I like Coke machines. I do a lot of the vendos. I've restored quite a few of those and fixed them up and sold them.
We moved out here about 6 years ago. It was 4 acres. We built a nice shop, and we're gonna have a nostalgia store someday and do the restoration on the stuff.
That's a repro shell sign.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really nice globe. It's a figure of
They
globe.
look great lit up.
We heard that George wanted to sell and had a ton of stuff. So what would something like that sell for?
In that condition, probably 2,500 bucks.
Now, if you were going to sell it to us, what would you want for it in that condition?
Probably 28. No.
What we didn't hear is that he wants to sell retail out of a store he's going to open up. I can see where this is going. So you live there,
Yeah.
and this is going to be a shop.
Correct.
Well, did you say he had some stuff in the house as well?
Come on in. Come on down.
Wow. Lots to look at. Holy smoke.
Got a real mix in here of stuff.
When we get the store up and running, it's going to be kind of like a nostalgia warehouse. That's going to have rows and rows of stuff.
We're gonna do jukeboxes, Coke machines, gas pumps, signs, pinball machines, the whole works.
The paint on this is just perfect.
I bought it out of Texas.
But I think he's a recast. I know that Big Boy was still big in the 60s because we used to have that deal with our folks that every one of us on our birthday, we get to take a couple friends.
And let me guess.
I usually picked Big Boy. So what do they cost to get them made?
By the time I got this shipped up here, if I was sold that, it'd be 2,500.
Just to break even.
I don't know about you, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
George is often paying top dollar for his pieces.
And the Salada cheese sign, is that being restored?
This one I had to repair just a little bit, and and I kept all the cracks in it.
And he's restoring and putting hours into a lot of them. Boy, did you ever do a nice job on this one?
The porcelain was all damaged through there, so I cleaned it off and saw brass, so we polished it up.
Can I touch this one?
Yeah, take it down, yeah.
So as a consequence, George is investing a lot in the pieces that he had.
There's a good door push, that Coke one.
Yeah.
But Scott's persistent. It's the shape that really sets this one off, isn't it?
Yeah, very Art Deco in shape, but it's not 20s, it's 40s.
I really enjoy restoring the signs. Well, this one's, I restored the ends.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one.
It was in a fire, and I had to do from there over.
You did a great job. That's a nice decorator piece for somebody. It's never gonna be truly collectible because, like you said, it was half gone, right?
Yeah.
I have trouble selling restored signs.
Yeah.
People want them original. Like this one is original. What would you want for something like that?
Those ones go for about 400.
In this condition?
Yeah.
400 seems to me to be steep. I think that's probably more than book price on it. I could do 3 on it, but I can't do any more than 3.
I probably got that in it.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I wish I had this when I was a kid. I never had anything like this.
You
Look
look
at
good
that.
on that missile, I can tell already, Scott.
It's in absolutely beautiful original condition, probably a 7 out of 10, which is as good as you can hope to get one that isn't out of the box.
It's got the little lever on the side, and it makes it click when it drives.
The condition on this is just so nice. That's but what, 1950s, early 60s?
Yeah, I
maybe?
think so, yeah.
There's a million cars out there. Every kid had a little car, but not very many kids had a rocket. The kid that had that pedal car, he was the most popular kid on the block. I'm afraid to ask, but what do you want for it?
It's gonna be hard to part with. It's one of my favorites. There's certain items that you just kind of get attached to and you don't want to sell. And if you don't want to sell it, of course, the price goes up a bit.
I could just tell by the look in his face, the intake of breath.
I'd have to get 18 for it.
I was afraid I was going to hear that. There's no money in it for us at that, but it is a killer thing.
I'm in love with it too much.
Well, I grabbed these mostly because they're Canadian. Deal me a hand of blackjack.
Scott can pick and play cards.
I saw 2 trays there. The one was an old Molson's porcelain enamel beer tray. The other one was a piece of Canadiana. The other one was rare. So what would you want for the trays?
This being rare, I'd have to get 100 and a half, and that would be 100, that one.
If I was to take the pair, would you go 2?
No, I can't do it, sorry.
Hit me. Yes!
Oh, winner every time. Any more stuff? Maybe something you're not quite as attached to?
I don't know if I told you about the 4 trailers I have. Very crowded in those things.
Is
You're
it?
gonna have to put your climbing boots on. The trailers are so packed with stuff. Everything's just piled in there,
Holy smokes.
nice and neat.
Yikes.
Wow.
Well, maybe not too neat.
Can I actually sort of wiggle in?
Get up there.
Holy cow.
If you don't surface in about 8 or 10 minutes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been nice.
There's some good stuff back here. I just wish I could get to it.
Scott's like a Labrador retriever. I send him in, I tell him there's a bird in there. Go deep.
Does he bring it back to you,
Oh,
though?
usually, yeah.
In the trailers, they're just piled with stuff. And every time I go in there, I go, oh yeah, I got that. I forget, you know?
Have you had a tetanus shot lately, Scott?
No, but I got a feeling I'm gonna need one. Oh,
What do you see?
a rusty 70s pedal car, I think. Now that's a beater. What would you want for a beater?
I'd want 100 for it.
It's more rust than it is metal, I think. See, Shell, I think we could probably sell that pedal car for 75 to 100 bucks. That's about it, though. Nice checker cab.
Yeah, them guys know the good stuff, that's for sure. They tried to get some of my good stuff.
What would you want for the checker cab?
They're not for sale.
Okay. Did you do these Coke stools?
They went around one of the bars I built. It's like a $6,000 bar.
$6 grand.
I might sell some of the stuff off, but I'll keep a lot of the stuff to restore.
What the heck is this thing?
That's the bottom of a carnival ride.
So that must be the bumper off that car. Are you going to restore that at some point or what?
It looks like too big of a job.
Well, then what would you want for the grill?
No, the grill would have to go with the car, because then the car would be worth nothing.
Well, it's worth nothing now. So how much would you sell the grill for and throw the car away?
No.
No? Okay. I don't understand where he's coming from. He won't discount what he loves, and he won't discount what he doesn't.
It's got to be a disease to collect this stuff.
I did all that climbing and digging. I got no treat.
Elbow.
Good job. You made it. Yeah.
Yikes.
Quite often, collectors have a little bit of a problem parting with things.
There's lots of stuff in here that we'll be interested in. The only question we've got is, what's the price?
Wow, you got a lot of Coke.
You got a whole row of Vendo 44s over there.
Oh, you saw that, did you?
Yeah. The Vendo 44 is probably the most popular of all the Coke machines because it's so small, it can go anywhere in anyone's house. This one looks like it's in reasonably decent original condition.
When we restore them, we take the compressors right out and rebuild them. We rebuild the coin mechanisms, do all the body and paint, and when they're ready to go, they're pretty much better than brand new. If you do find one with a rack in it, these racks are gold because they're very hard to find.
I used, like, stack my beer sideways all the way up in here.
Yeah. I would sell an unrestored 44 that's complete with the rack and compressor and everything for about $2,500. When we restore them, we usually get about 6 for them.
There's just no way. We gotta buy those things at $1,200 to $1,500, flip them for 2, and let the next guy make the extra $500 to $700 on them. I'm more interested in this beat but rare sign. It's rare because it's got the little guy in it.
Yeah, and we welded that up because it was so rusty, and it's in the midst of being restored.
If you were gonna sell this, what would you sell it for in that condition?
I'd have to finish it to sell it.
I don't mind a few bumps and bruises on it. It shows its age, it shows it was used, and it's easier for me to sell with the bumps and bruises than if it's being restored. If you were gonna sell it to me today,
Just the way it
what
is?
would you want for it?
I don't think it's for sale.
Okay, well that makes it easy. Yeah. This big Coke sign, what's the story on that one?
It's missing a piece on top with the hangers, and it's to advertise your own store.
As I recall it, this thing would look a bit like that, except it would have the big stripes and then you'd have your name in it. It's a 1940s, 50s sign. Coca-Cola dealer would have come to you and said, hey, we want you to sell our product. We're gonna give you a sign and we're gonna put your name on it.
Flip it over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to visualize what the top of that sign looked like before we think about whether or not we need to own it. The problem is, he's gonna dick with that thing. He's gonna touch it up and try to make it better, and in my mind, he's gonna take all the value away from that sign. And what would you sell that for if you were gonna sell it?
You'd be up around $800, $900.
The pickers are exactly like us. They're looking for wholesale prices. They got to make money, so their job is find the deal, make a bit of money, and still sell it for a good price. And that's exactly what we do.
Speaking of Coke, you used to see these all the time. You don't see them as much anymore, the Coke Cops. It looks like an original bottom.
Yeah, it's original base on it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's heavier, yeah. Really popular item. It's almost like a cornerstone for a Coca-Cola collector. Everyone that collects Coke wants to have a Coke Cop. So what would you need to get out of the Coke Cop?
I was asking 15, but 12 would take it.
That's an entry wound. Yeah. That's an exit wound. Just a bit too much with that many bullet holes in it. Fortunately, that was a little lower than they were intending.
I can see them offer me a lot less on things because they have to make money on it too.
Now that's a beauty.
Yeah, that's a nice bike.
Nice condition, too.
Yeah, it's a girl's bike.
It's attractive, it's original, and this one you haven't restored. It's good enough just the way it is,
I
isn't it?
just keep it the way it is. It's kind of fun.
Everyone loves old bikes, particularly bikes out of the 50s and 60s that have that really streamlined look to it. And that had a good look. It was a girl's bike, which was a problem in one sense because they were more common than men's bikes. But it was also good because girls actually ride those bikes today, and that's who we're likely going to sell it to. That's a beaut, eh? Does it have the backup brakes? Yeah, it does. It's got the backup.
Coaster brakes.
It's a bit wobbly, though.
I don't think the bike is wobbly. I think that might be you and a few too many suds last night.
I think it is. I think it is. That's a nice bike, though. So what do you want for that?
I should get 300 for it.
You know, it's getting up there where it's questionable how much we could make off it, if anything.
That's a great bike. Would you take 250?
Yeah, I'd go 250.
Done.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm glad I sold him something.
I think we have a market for that. We'll make a few bucks, pay for the gas. Hey guys, that was an
It's nice to meet you.
You guys.
Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you guys. Yeah. Big boy made me kind of hungry for a burger. Maybe have some suds. That was quite something.
Got to see some neat things, but couldn't buy anything. I don't think my wife would be too happy if I brought a semi-truck trailer and put it on the front lawn. Do you think so?
I'd say you're getting close. We're going to see Tim. We're going to take the Lishman rocker to get an appraisal, get his opinion on it.
Well, if he knows something about that rocker, I'm going to be impressed.
I'm with you. I knew the movie.
I didn't even know Lishman made rockers.
We know there's profit in that chair. How much? Well, that remains to be seen.
Oh, there.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I love doing appraisals because you just never know what someone's going to walk in with.
We wanted you to take a look at this for us. Have you ever seen one of these?
Yeah, Lishman chair. They're quite unique. We made a few hundred of them back in the 70s, and they're highly collectible because they're a work of art, is what they are.
They're really comfortable.
Yeah, these are really cool. Seen it in books, but it's not something you're going to handle every day.
We stepped up for it. We didn't get it for $100. We paid $1,000 for it. What do you think something like this would sell in terms of marketability and everything else?
You have to take it a couple hours away to the greater Toronto area where you have a collector base, people that really know the stuff, that are really hot for it. If I was wholesaling to another dealer, like $2,500 or so.
Wow, yeah. That's pretty good.
You went in with both feet, but you're gonna win it.
Hey, that's great. I really wanted to see what he had in his drop-off warehouse because he's a picker, buys and sells. We're looking to buy. That's great.
Thank you.
Let's get up to the house.
Yeah.
Didn't think we were going to get anything from Tim other than an appraisal.
I've already white hatted him.
Do you look good in it?
Yeah, he's one of us.
Do you look as good as me?
I hate to say it, he looks better.
I handle a lot of different things, so I have gas and oil things. I got toys.
Find anything?
Oh, there's all kinds of neat little doodads here and there.
Mantiques, if you want to call them that, the stuff that guys really like.
How much?
Walking stick, $10.
Done.
Is that a moose call?
I believe it is, yeah. You can have it for $15. Everybody knows if they want something unusual,
It's a birch bark moose call. It's got to be worth $15.
they come and find it with me because I get the unusual.
Oh, you got a couple beaver sealers.
Yeah, beaver sealers, they're a fairly local jar. They're made over in Wallaceburg, which is a couple hours away from here to the south.
These are the common ones, right?
Yep.
Because they're pointed to the right.
Yep.
What do you need out of those?
Those ones I need $10 each.
Done. There's nothing more Canadian than a beaver.
I work on high volume, low profit, and just move the stuff because, you know, really it boils down to it's just stuff.
That's a pitter, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got a really nice set of Art Nouveau legs on it, doesn't it?
Nice piece of cast iron, that's for sure.
Hit us with your best shot, Tim.
$80.
That's a good piece.
Is it?
Yeah, 80.
Done. This is fun.
Dealing with those guys was pretty easy. They're on the same page where I'm at.
This big dirt mover.
Steam shovel, original paint, nice shape. It should retail about $2 1/4.
Real nice red and black digger, Canadian made. Every company under the sun made that digger at one point in time. The difference with this one was condition. It was about 9.5 out of 10.
To find toys in original paint is really good. They're getting harder and harder to find, and they bring the premium dollar. I need $100 for it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let the next guy make a few bucks, and then he can come back with his profit and buy more.
Is this an American company?
Crimco, they were across Canada. I know that for sure because I've seen them on out of different places.
It was a chocolate milk sign. Very unusual, nice size, good crisp image.
Probably, I would say 30s because it's embossed.
How much did you say you wanted for that?
$40 bucks.
Is that your best? 30? 30.
All right, just because you're shaking.
Done!
No regrets. I'm happy to move the stuff along, let somebody make some more money.
What do you want for the blanket?
You want to buy my packing blanket? $5.
Done. This is the quick speed pick. I love it.
Any traps or anything? I've been looking for a good bear trap.
We'll have to go to the front, and I'll open that up, and we'll look up front there. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, now, there she be.
Yeah, that's a blacksmith bear trap.
They've welded something in the springs.
Yeah, they've made it so you can't use it.
Right.
They don't want you using these traps anymore.
Finally, I found a real bear trap. It was an old blacksmith-made bear trap. A lot of people that have cabins, that's just such a big, impressive thing. It's a cool thing.
Piece of history.
What do these sell for
They're generally about 400 bucks or so.
in this condition?
In that condition.
Because it's pretty rusty, right?
Yep.
What do you need out of this?
I'd like 250, but you can have it for 200. That's what I got invested in it, so.
You know, I've been looking for a bear trap all over Canada. Yeah, shake the man's hand.
Yeah.
200 it is.
This is great.
This is some good picking.
That best picking we've had so far.
Yeah. We could stay here picking all night if we can.
Oh, Delco batteries.
Yeah, that's a battery stand. Comes all apart. It's a really cool piece.
That would have sat in a service station, probably in the 1960s.
Great display piece for guys that have oil bottles and cans and all that stuff.
Any guy that's tried to put together a service station display or a gas station display will want that piece for his collection. What do you need out of that?
I need 100 bucks out of it. And all the pieces are right there for it.
Done. Is that a Massey?
No, I don't think it's Massey.
There are a lot of people that buy tractor seats. They'll weld a piece of metal to the bottom of them and use them as bar stools. Never have any trouble selling a good tractor seat.
What did you want for all these seats?
There's 6 seats there, I think, altogether. 300 bucks for the 6.
Several weeks ago, we were at a pick, and the guy wanted 300 bucks for one seat.
Shake the man's hand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The guys are welcome to come back anytime.
That's your new lucky hat, isn't it?
Yep.
Brand spanking new.
We've been doing well, but I think we better get this packed up and get on the road before it's too dark.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah, so this is a homemader.
It's just a wall hanger anyhow at this point, so.
It's a pretty seat. Okay. We can use it as a rack to put some of our items on for our next sale, and we can put a price tag on it.
I guess with the white hat, and you guys loaded, I've been picked.
Yeah, you've been picked. This made the whole trip for us, this pick.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Tim, you look good in that cowboy hat.
Well, I gotta look good in something. Take care.
See you later. When you give a white hat to a guy, you're giving him an invitation to come to Calgary to visit the city.
I agree. The good guys always wear a white hat.
At least they do in the movies, anyway.
I was gonna bring a black hat for you.
I've got a black hat.
I know. I think it was Prince Charles they white-hatted about 5 times. He arrived in Calgary one day and they gave him a white hat and he said, "No, God, not another white hat."
He's a bad pick anyway.
Yeah. It's got some good stuff. He just won't sell.